little bit of a rundown for you. So we got front and rear JCR off-road bumpers. We got a Rhino line bed liner up to the body line here on the sides, the right and left. Got Goodyear Wrangler tires, 31 inch, about 60 to 70% life on them on a 15-inch wheel. Tinted windows all the way around. Key entry. One issue we have there is I had to switch the key cylinder on the inside, so the new keys that come with it, 2 keys, do not work with these key entries. Rear bumper here. Paint is in semi-good condition. A little dirty. That's right and left. Biggest paint issues are here on the hood. You're starting to get a little bit of chipping and flaking and whatnot. You can see it pretty good right there. I think the hood or the roof is about the worst. That's also, like I said, JCR rear bumper there. A little bit of an issue with the hatch. You kind of have to press in with your body weight and use the latch at the same time to get that lock to release. Other than that, the hatch is fully operable. Body line's pretty straight. The paints on the right and the left side are, I'd say, good condition. I'll show you the interior. I think it's a 1-disc deck, OEM deck. All your switches and your bass, mid, and treble switches are operable. Your front, rear, right, and left. Electric windows. You got your right front, right rear, and your left rear that work. The front left, the driver's side, does not work though. The motor works, but the window is not engaged in the teeth of the motor, or the actuator, if you will. You got power mirrors, operable on the driver's side, obviously. Interior, roof, clean, good condition. I do have this. It's just off right now because it's loose setting in there and it vibrates. Chair, passenger side in fair condition, good condition. On the driver's side, there is a tear in what you call the lazy driver, or whatever you want to call this. These creases here, there's a tear on the outside there. Some small tears on the leather of the driver's seat. Console, cup holders, automatic. There's your 4 high, neutral, 4 low, 2 high shifter. The AC is not charged, so I do not know if the AC works or not. The blower motors do work. The radio does work. They are aftermarket. Speakers, no subs, no nothing, but I believe that the speakers are a Kenwood speaker. All your dials and switches work. Rear seat. Again, right rear, right front, and rear left. Windows work, except for the driver's seat. Seats are in fair condition. Some stains. I think there's one stain right there. Carpet's in fair condition. Similar situation, there are some stains here and there. Both driver's side and passenger side chairs are manual operation. So lean back and slide forward and backward. Bench sheet folds up. Bottle jack. Nothing really there to show you. 2 speakers here in the back. spare donut tire, and your hatch area. Here's those tears on the driver's side. Pretty sufficient tear there. And like I said, you got your driver's or user wear here on the seat. Nothing's torn on the seat. You just got the sag there. Back of the seats, back of both bucket seats look good though. There's a tear on the driver's side also, right here, right in the back, just the leather tearing off of the insulation. Small tear here on the bench seat, not ripped all the way through. Trying to make these videos short and sweet for you, but not working out too well. Let's go with the ignition. So with the ignition, I've had the cylinder replaced like I said before, but I'm still not allowing, or the cylinder, or if you will, the drive shaft or whatever you want to call it, that's on the inside of your whole ignition system here, is not allowing it to engage and send signal to your starter. So if you pull this guy here out, just pop it out just a hair until it pops like that, you should be able to engage it. Kind of funky, but it works. So let's check out the engine. Okay, this is just a video of the engine running because I tried to explain to you some things in the engine bay and you can't hear a goddamn thing I'm saying because the engine's running. So this is just the engine running. Got a chirp coming from one of our pulleys. Rear plug on our valve cover needs to be replaced. Plug on our valve cover needs to be replaced. I don't know if you heard me, but there's a chirp coming from one of our pulleys. Haven't figured that out yet. Compressor and everything that has to do with the AC is operable. Like I said, it's just not charged yet. And I have not pulled a vacuum or nothing. I haven't checked to see if there's any leaks, so there's that possibility completely. I have no information on that as far as now. One pretty big issue that I have is with our dipstick here. The base of the dipstick tube is actually broken, so it doesn't fit snugly inside the engine block. And so right there at the base where that lip is, it leaks oil fairly well. I only have that in there right now just to check to see if I had enough oil in the engine, and I'm probably going to take that back out and plug it somehow. But that tube needs to be replaced. I'd also like to point out that on this vehicle, except for the engine manifold, the intake manifold, and the radiator, mostly your powertrain's got, give or take, 170 to 190,000 miles on it. So bearings, drive shafts, differentials, your sway bar linkage, your tie rods, your control arms, your leaf springs, your shocks, give or take 170 to 190,000 miles. We do have rough country, I believe, on the front end for the springs, the coil springs, and the shocks. And on the rear end, you have stock leafs with the shackle, 2.5 inch shackle add, and Rubicon shocks.